Recently, I have been unable to focus on my art at night because every midnight, I hear the crying of a boy. The haunting cries make it impossible for me to find peace. Gradually, his figure began to appear in the corner of my studio. I tried to ignore him, but I eventually broke down and fled the studio. I returned with an axe and found his ghostly presence had taken over my workspace. I swung the axe frantically and his bones scattered beneath my table. However, the ghost did not disappear. Instead, it attacked me. As an artist who aims to deeply move readers, I firmly believe that some experiences must be personally lived to be truly reflected in my work. Now, I deeply understand the pain that I caused the boy in my pursuit of creating, and I have paid the ultimate price for it.
Ferlin loves hiking and often goes on adventures in the mountains. One day, as she was hiking home, she stepped on a sharp object that pierced her foot, rendering her unable to walk. Feeling stranded and helpless, Ferlin spotted a massive figure approaching from afar. As it drew closer, she realized it was a giant with a child. Surprisingly, the giant picked her up without any hostility and carried her to their home. Once they arrived, the giant tended to Ferlin's wound and bandaged it up. Although the giant's behavior was peculiar, Ferlin couldn't tell if he had good or bad intentions. Suddenly, the giant licked her foot, causing Ferlin to panic and run away. She came across the giant child, who was half buried in the ground and munching on a mouse. Disgusted, Ferlin ran as fast as she could. But unfortunately, she stepped on another sharp object, and this time, it was the giant child holding a sharp knife. Ferlin realized that the giants had been digging tunnels underground to catch their prey. Jackson and his girlfriend had a violent argument that led to a tragic and irreparable end. With no remorse, Jackson decided to cover up the murder as an accident. While driving down the road, a van driver suddenly noticed a woman lying in the middle of the road. Despite his attempts to brake, it was too late and he hit her. The driver, horrified by what had happened, quickly fled the scene. However, he noticed a pair of legs following his van in his rearview mirror. In a state of panic, he lost control of his van and crashed into an oncoming vehicle. The car he hit belonged to Jackson, who was unfortunately killed in the accident. The van driver, who previously believed he was responsible for the girl's death, discovered that he was innocent of the crime after reading about it in the newspaper while in the hospital. Also, the legs still haunt him in the hospital. Could it be out of gratitude? Do you believe that ghosts repay kindness? Please comment below.
My father is getting old and his health is deteriorating. I don't have time to take care of him, so I can only hire a caregiver, Eva, to take care of him. Eva is very attentive to my father's needs and has won his heart. We are around the same age and get along well. Being single all this time, I bought a bouquet of flowers tonight to confess my feelings to Eva. I quietly returned home and heard some noise coming from my father's room. I thought Eva was being attentive, still up so late. When I arrived at the door of the room, I saw an indescribable scene. How could my heart bear such a huge shock? In the end, under Eva's attentive care, my father gradually recovered. Eva and I still became a family, and this is indeed a happy ending.
Recently, there have been rumors in the city about a monster that eats children, causing many parents to worry about their own children. This father, who is accompanied by his cute little daughter, thinks that this is just an urban legend and cannot possibly happen in real life.
Daddy,
At this time, the little girl suddenly said she wanted to go to the toilet. The mother was not there, and the father was not able to accompany her, so he let the little girl go by herself. The father continued reading the newspaper for a while, but the little girl had not returned yet, which made him feel strange. He went outside the women's toilet and called for the little girl, but there was no response. Suddenly, the toilet door opened and a pregnant woman came out. The father quickly looked into the toilet, but there was only a puddle of red liquid inside and the little girl was not there. Do you think the woman was pregnant? What was the liquid in the toilet? Please leave a comment to explain.
Recently, there have been 2 stray dogs near my home that bark incessantly every day, causing me to lose focus and unable to concentrate on my work. I can't take it anymore. It's infuriating. If I don't get rid of these 2 wild dogs, I won't be able to finish my work. Damn it! That grocery store that sells fake goods!
The nearby residents told me that the old owner of the grocery store had passed away a month ago. Later, I took in the 2 dogs and since then they have stopped making noise.
Molly is an introverted and quiet girl with few friends. The freak monster in her phone is her only good friend. She likes to play on her phone alone in the empty lot near the school, enjoying the feeling of solitude. However, Molly's peaceful life was shattered one day. The school bully, Tom, snatched her phone from behind and kicked her hard. Molly's head hit a rock and she passed out. It wasn't until the evening that Molly slowly regained consciousness and was surprised to see Freak Monster in front of her. Freak Monster told her that he had taught Tom a lesson and dragged his body and flew away. Tom had been missing for several days and no one knew where he went. That day, Molly returned to the empty lot to look for her phone and found that it was buried under a rock. However, she also discovered that her phone had captured the incident. It turned out that there was no freak monster. When she was being bullied, she awakened the beast inside her and fought back with all her might.